Ladies and gentlemen, we are back yet again for another Walking Dead, believe it or not, review. This is a spoiler discussion this time around. So all bets are off. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, go and check out episode 3. People are a resource of The Walking Dead, Dead City. If you haven't already checked out as well, go and check out our non-spoiler discussion, our series review, talking around the first and second episodes of Dead City. I have here my co-host, straight from Three Black Geeks, Eris. What's going on, dude?
What's up, man?
Hey,
What's up?
zombies, craziness, foolishness.
Hey, look, didn't I tell you? Things start picking up with episode 3.
Dude, they had my Marshall
In
in
an
a
MMA
UFC ring,
cage.
like going ham while handcuffed.
My man
What?
was in a Marshall in the octagon. We done
What am
seen
I
it all.
watching? What in the world am I watching when it comes to show? But I mean, look. To be fair, man, he was a whole pound, bro. He put
Yes.
in that gosh darn work. He laid hands on them jokers, bro. Like that first cat, like I was like, he decapitated him with the
Like with
handcuff.
the handcuffs. But then remember earlier when uh like when they were about to get served rotten meat, he made him swallow the key. The Croat made the guy swallow the key, and then when you saw him kill him, you were like, "Wait, why did he make him swallow the key?" And I told you, I said, "Just wait for it." I said these things. I said these things have a tendency of turning like of going full circle and coming back around. And what you did, the first zombie that the Marshall, his character's name is actually Pearly. Like Pearly the Marshall, uh, has to fight this like the zombie who prepared the meal
Bruh.
just to get the key out. Like, yes, sir. I need you to get in them guts and get that key out.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that the Croatian, from the second episode alone, like he's got a proclivity of torturing people. But I
Yes.
think Negan said it that he likes to dissect people mentally and emotionally. I even like I think a little bit of the story here is I forget the guy that survived, the one person that got out. He's like,
What was it, Tommaso?
yeah, he was like he likes to play and manipulate and probe people just to do that all over again, cycle for cycle. So I was kind of like, I knew these were mind games, but I was like, he had a whole cordial conversation, had that whole thing set up, and I was kind of like, okay, he didn't just kill this man; he used him for the same exact resources that he was going to use him for to begin with. And I was like,
Yes.
this man is sick. But he also wanted to see how this Marshall ticked. He wanted to see how he could break him. And after everything the Marshall went through, it was the letter that did him in. And I can you tell me a little bit about the letter? Like, is this from his wife? And
So
or
I believe so. No, that letter, if I'm not mistaken, was it dates back to episode 2. Now, remember in episode 2 when Pearly went to that apartment and he saw and he saw the guy, like
yeah.
he shot himself and killed himself. I believe that letter was from him, which I believe
Mm,
is supposed to be his brother.
mm. That makes a lot more sense because I was like, he seemed like he was connected to that
Yeah, he was.
location, and he picked this random apartment out of nowhere, and he was real careful how he preserved the body. He got matter of fact, he even knew exactly where the gun was, so that makes a lot more sense. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
being his
letter
brother made more sense.
that letter had the address, and you don't see it, but that apartment, it was that location.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll say even with the main bad, like they use him a lot better in this episode. Like this is his coming out party. Like this is showing him his vindictive side, his cunning side, and also how him and Negan are still very similar in different
Yes.
ways. Like he sees the potential in this Marshall. He sees something he can use to control and make them believe that they can be on equal sides to get what they want. Because as soon as he was like, "Well, who are you going after?" Guy named Negan, he did a double take. He was
He
like,
goes,
Okay.
Word.
Right. The enemy of my enemy. I can use you. You can fight. You can track. You can survive, and you going after the same dude. Oh, cool! I can make this work to my. He's gonna use the marshal to draw Negan in. He absolutely is. But we'll see.
He is, and let's be real here. I don't think the Croat even knew that Negan was in New York.
That was what I was gonna ask you because the first episode led me to believe that they knew Negan was already there.
Well,
But
the marshal was the marshal was after him, of course, but the Croat and his crew had no idea.
no. Yeah, yeah. So I think that's actually really interesting because now it's kind of like if Herschel talks, he can hit two birds with one stone. So yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where this is gonna go, but this is a really good episode for different reasons. What was one of your favorite parts about this episode?
Obviously, Pearly in the octagon with the
Yeah.
zombies. That was one of my favorite moments. My other favorite moment was the flashbacks with Negan and Jenny.
Mm.
Because again, like I said, I said it when we were watching this. I said, you know what, Negan might not have had kids like back like in his past, but he definitely makes one hell of a father. I will say that.
Yeah,
Like he plays that cool dad like so well, and you can already tell just from his interaction with Carl and
right.
his interaction with like other kids that he came across throughout the main show that he has a soft spot for kids.
He absolutely does. I think he killed somebody in one of the seasons just because they thought of the idea of killing a kid.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, this matter of fact, I think this is the same episode that he talked about. I forgot what the chick's name. Oh my god, I think her name's Annie. I don't know who
yeah.
Annie is,
Which
but he talked.
again, watch the
He
main show.
Well, he talked about how Annie had kind of went out. She got assaulted. Sounds like she got sexually assaulted, and he went eight nuts on them jokers. Now he didn't specify what he did, but he said that he didn't even want to do it. And by
Yeah,
that time, he had, you know, a warrant out for his arrest and everything else with the marshals. But it was just interesting hearing him do something. Well, I don't know. Again, I guess I haven't seen the 11th season, so I haven't seen him kind of like be remorseful for anybody outside of kids. Um, so I think it's very interesting for me to hear that, but even more so in the context of with Maggie, because he seems like he's really genuinely trying to be there for Maggie, even down to saying, like, look, I cannot speak sometimes, like you can vent to me. And she did it. And
yep.
I was curious from your perspective, do you think that she reluctantly did it or she felt like, she needed to get off her chest with somebody?
Well, again, not because you haven't seen the last two seasons. Going off of the comics, now you remember in the comics, and hell, even way back in season, I want to say around midway through season 9, after the all-out war was finished
Yeah.
at the end of season 8, and then there was that time when Negan was kept prisoner. The
Mhm.
all I'm talking about morning, noon, and night, all that was on Maggie's mind
Killing
was
this man.
killing Negan. Like,
Yeah,
no matter what. She even got Daryl on her side.
she did.
Just the lure.
Matter of fact, she went against Rick to try to kill Negan.
She did. That's what I'm saying. She went and got Daryl on her side because Daryl felt guilty for, for causing Glenn to be killed in the first place because it was his fault that Glenn was killed.
Yeah.
But he was willing to go against his own brother Rick and lure him out just to get him away so that Maggie can find a way to get to Negan.
Yep.
But throughout all the years in this show, between the main show and this show, it's like she wants to kill Negan with every fiber of her being,
Yep.
but simply killing him just isn't enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough. But at the same time, I think she knows that Not even Glenn would want her to do it.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's very fascinating to kind of see how she's becoming codependent on him. Almost. I think that there's certain levels where she's trying to fall back, but she knows who he is. I mean, even if you
Yeah.
go over the last episode, I mean, you kind of expounded on like when she saw him doing that, it's like, oh, okay, he has a change. But I think a part of her, in my perception, is that she knows that this is the kind of person I need to be around to get my son back. Because I might have to get down to this low of a point as well. So, even down to the very last scene of her, she knew whose bear that was.
Well, it was a stuffed dinosaur.
Yeah, she knew who that stuffed animal was, but she didn't say anything. And then she was about to burn it as opposed to tell Negan about it. And I was like,
now they're playing a game. Now comes the mind games of I got a secret, you got a secret. We're both hiding something.
Right.
We've reached that point. Again, this show is only 6 episodes, but we've reached that point in the game of now both parties are hiding something.
Yeah. And I mean, but to me, there's no reason for her not to tell him. Because I mean, well, technically, I say that back because he could want to go and leave her to go save the girl. So,
remember, she left. Remember Negan left Jenny with Maggie's people at New Hilltop because they're not at the old Hilltop. As she mentioned it, but she did leave him with she was left with good people basically.
Right. And
so even though he knows that Jenny's with good people, he has reasons to be concerned about her.
Right.
Which we're gonna find out about. We'll find out about that later.
Yeah, because it seems like she's pulling the Joel. She's like, I'd rather burn the truth as opposed to
man
me in the long run.
I don't know. See, I wasn't even gonna make that comparison, but you did. Yo.
Hey,
the answers to the zombie apocalypse are in that stuff.
Just burn it all. Just burn
burn it.
Yeah, but no, I mean, to be fair, those were some really good transitions. Every time Jenny, was being really stupid and rash, like there's certain little pieces of Negan coming out with her, whether it was a whistle, whether it was like her feeling a need to coming out of her trauma to follow her dad figure, which is why I think she couldn't be comfortable there because she still needed to follow her dad and find her dad, which she's imprinted that to be Negan from my perception. But I think that's good storytelling, which is surprising in a spin-off series. All of this is really catching. It's been
pretty good writing. It's been pretty good writing for 3 episodes so far.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. I really am because I even down to Negan having to go and have the altercation at the end of this episode. I knew it was going to happen the moment that Negan was asking for some of the cream that the black dude wasn't willing to share.
Yep.
And then when Maggie kind of said, like, yeah, he's some trash too. He used to work with it. I was like, Maggie, that you could have kept that information. Like you didn't
need Maggie, you're not helping.
Like somebody's gonna stab us in our sleep because of you. And then right when the black dude was like, yeah, I got the paper. I got the wanted paper, bro. I was
which he, by the way, he got that from Negan the day, like that episode when they got caught by Tommaso and his crew. Remember their bags were taken and everything, and they were searched. So of course, when he's searching through everything and I remember he took the paper and just tossed it to the side. I was like, oh, he's gonna see what it is.
Yep.
I said, and then after that, the moment you see Negan interacting with him, you notice that he's like extremely standoffish towards Negan. He don't trust him or nothing.
I knew that black man was gonna die. I was just kind of like, man, please don't kill him with the grated cheese handler. I was like, don't do that. And sure
I'm
enough,
like,
he got pitch black. He got Riddick got to that man. Um,
when I saw that part, that's like first of all, when I saw Negan with the cheese grater, I said, huh. I wonder if this is going to be used as a weapon in the next couple of minutes.
oh man. I mean, I feel bad for the black guy, but I also feel bad for Negan because I really don't think, even though the guy had the warning sign, I don't think he would have went with the intent of trying to kill him.
No, he wasn't trying to kill him, but he did tell Negan, look, I need you and Maggie to go.
Yep.
Like he was at least trying to give him a chance to leave, but at the same time, Negan was trying to give him a chance to just ignore it, let it go.
Yeah.
Like you go over there, I'm gonna go over here. We both got people depending on us. We're trying to make this plan work, but you can already tell he didn't think this plan would work anyway. So you already knew he was going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's just kind of like my question is going to be, how does Negan justify this? Explain it. Like, how does he spin it? Like, I don't even think Maggie will accept this. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how he's gonna get out of that because now, before it, at the very least, if they would have gotten through with this, Maggie would have kind of like, okay, but there's no explaining this. But then, to be fair, there's no explaining that Maggie's about to burn this little girl's
Yep.
stuffed animal and not gonna tell him. So they might end up fighting against each other all over again. Um. So yeah,
We know that you and I both know something's coming. I mean, this is only the third episode. We're already at the midpoint.
right. Yeah.
And speaking of the episode title, the episode title is called "People Are a Resource." The Croat show, like as it's shown earlier in the episode, we noticed that all the dead people were put inside these tanks, and I remember him saying something to Pearlie the Marshal, which was, the most like the number one most powerful like resource, like at this point in life. And when you would think it would be anything but what he said, and my man said, death. People are a resource and they could be used as fuel. And I'm like, oh, so that's what all those people were doing in those tanks. Wow. Okay. So yes, it's true. After the body dies, the gases and everything that's still inside can be pressurized into fuel. Who
yeah,
knew?
I was like, we back in the Matrix, y'all.
I'm like, bro, this is some evil genius stuff right here.
Yeah. He was like, I'm a scientist. Like this is what I do. But we did get um an understanding of what happened to his family,
Yeah.
and they weren't just killed by walkers; they were killed by people and eaten. And he could smell it, and from that point, like he was never the same again. And then he kind of talked around his excursions of finding somebody like Negan,
Yeah,
bringing him out.
he pretty much found his way to Negan.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say I empathize with him, but I understand him a lot better as a character. This episode was me understanding him as an individual. He's still a psychopath. He's still sick, but he's also
100%.
very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if he's sitting there gonna be trying to brainwash Herschel or something crazy. I really wouldn't be surprised. Um, Eris is just biting his tongue. It's like keeping my mouth shut. I plead the fifth. Um,
I know nothing of the future. That's all I'm
that's,
going to say.
that's freaking hilarious. But now this is another tight episode. I mean, it definitely was littered with a lot of death, a lot of decent action, great acting, some great moments between Negan and Maggie. Like like we said it last episode, but I mean, look, that's the Bat and the Joker, bro. Like they are match made in heaven because
They really are.
they play off of each other in ways that I gotta keep putting that picture up there, man. I gotta keep posting. I'm probably gonna do this every single episode.
We're just gonna keep being reminded that we were denied this, man. I know I said in the last episode, but we were denied this.
I know she went crazy, somebody, but no. But yeah, what do we got? Any closing thoughts on this episode?
I'm giving this episode. Oh, yes, sir, you're missing. There's a little mini rant that you need to go on. Jenny gets herself inside of a freaking cooler, gets a plank of wood, and just paddles her way across the freaking river into Manhattan.
It's impossible, dog. It's
in broad daylight with no zombies in the water. Okay, sure.
No. That's the most unbelievable thing they've done in The Walking Dead in a long time. And I've seen Daryl Dixon take a gosh darn bazooka, like close range, and just blow up something. So no, it is. The thing is, like, even if she did find something to get in and do that, like, it wouldn't have been that because once you're in water, like, even if, like, say this is water level and this is the thing. If the proportions is not the same as far as her body and too much, it's gonna lean in. She's gonna fall through no matter what into the water. There's no way keeping that up that level with a cylinder. That's not believable. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even know how she made that work.
It's impossible. And I think they tried to do that to kind of fast track to get her back on the island. But there's other ways that they could have done that. I mean,
she
could have been like a scout for the Croatian or something that was just happened to be out there and see her, and then took her, and then she get knocked out. Like, because now it's just kind of having her aimlessly just getting there. And I get it, like from her trauma, her doing that, but her getting across in something like that was unbelievable. It just was like she would have gotten snagged out by a walker. Like literally, when they were even on the boat, like walkers were all over the water.
So yeah, in the first episode,
paddling around and not coming in. Like, bruh, that was dumb. Like I was about to give the episode an A+ because now you done brought that up. I got to demean it down to
no. See, luckily that scene happens real quick. It happens real quick, and there was too much episode of cool stuff that happened that I let that go. To me, this episode gets an A+ for everything else.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best episode so far. It's just that was dumb, bro. That made no sense. It was,
but you do know that every show, every mainline series and or spinoffs always has that one dumb moment.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, something like that happened with even the Daredevil season 2 when like they just randomly gave this cliche kill to Elektra that it made no sense at all. So yeah. I guess to your point, that's true.
I was saying everybody's got to do at least one. There's at least one dumb moment.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. When was the last dumb moment I remember from The Walking Dead?
Carl.
Yeah, them killing Carl.
You and I both said it, killing Carl. By far the dumbest thing they could have done.
I guess the actor. Well, I can't remember. Was it the actor wanted out?
Nope, he didn't. What? The actor was just going to go to college, and he was going to try. Like Chandler Riggs was just going to simply try to work around his, his school schedule and do the show at the same time. But Scott Gimple just said, "Yeah, we're killing the kid." Andrew Lincoln literally, like, legit, almost quit because of that.
Foolishness.
The second dumbest thing. Hold on, what's the second dumbest? Yeah, second dumbest thing from mainline Walking Dead. It was killing Carl was one. What was there was another one I had in my mind. God, I was just thinking of it too. Killing Carl was one.
I was gonna say killing the black dude in the freaking double doors, but
killing Noah in season 5.
yep. I mean, ups to him because he made it to Albert Elementary. He's doing bank. He's winning Emmys. Shout out to my man.
Yeah, Tyler Williams.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. No, there was one more that was like a really dumb moment. Like I said, killing Carl, that was dumb moment number 1. And yeah, I guess killing Noah would be another one. But considering Noah was not a comic book character, he was a TV only character, and you already know how it is. Most TV only characters are pretty much cannon fodder unless number 1, they're popular. Number 2, there's plenty of material to write for them. That's the only 2 things that really save them.
I mean, but even Tyrese didn't even have a good out.
No, he didn't.
The only one that had a legit got their flowers going out on good terms is Sasha, because she chose it. She actually got to chose the way she went out, but even then, it didn't have to happen. But
I agree with you. I mean, that's one. There's another, but again, you gotta finish it. You gotta finish the fight, sir. God, what? I really see now. It's gonna drive me crazy because I really want to say like there was like a number of dumb moments. I know I said killing Carl is definitely at the top of my list. The second one, and it was a really good second one too. There were so many moments where I got mad at the show, but I kept watching it anyway. Oh yes. Okay, you said you never watched season 10 or 11, correct?
I never finished.
No, you did. No, you thought you finished season 10.
Right. I stopped at the cutoff for 10. And
okay. I got you. The second dumbest moment, killing Jesus. That was dumb. To me, that was like the 2 dumbest things that they've done in Walking Dead. Killing Carl and killing Jesus.
So this is the thing. When they killed Paul, that episode, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give you all the action. He's finally getting his flowers."
I was so
angry. And they wasted seasons of his physical ability, him as a great character, good character progression. They did nothing with him. They wait to the episode that he's supposed to die in to give him like some decent action. And I was. That always rubbed me the wrong way,
bro. And even the action they gave him, and that was even kind of mid. I mean, it was cool to see him do it because bro ain't done action since season 6, and throughout 7 and 8, he's mostly just been hanging in the back, not really doing much. I'll never forget the actor was his name Tom, not Tom. Was it Tom Payne? I remember he did say he used to read the comics that specifically had Jesus just so he can use that as a reference for his, for his acrobatic abilities and his fighting and all that stuff, especially when it came time for the all-out war. And then what happens? He does none of that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Scott Gimple. Really knows how to run a show.
Hey, but he's doing a decent job with this one.
It's 6 episodes, sir. It's not a full 16.
But he's still doing a decent job.
Justice for Jesus. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, we're gonna end on that note. I'll leave it at either A or A+, one or the other.
This is A+ for me.
Yeah. So we're gonna dipset. We'll be back for episode 4 coming next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Eris, where can everybody find you?
Yes, 3blackgeeks.com, Google 3blackgeeks. We're everywhere. Spotify, Podomatic, Instagram, Twitter, all 3blackgeeks. You can find me like personally, like at my Twitter, Black Nerd Japan. Hit me up, say what's up.
Is that Boma in the background?
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna go. We're gone. Yeah, peace, people.
Filing out the top of the skyline. 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind.